Hello. I don't even know where I'm gonna necessarily go with this, but I wanted to film this because I got a bug and I need to get some things off of my chest, and hopefully just better explains the mindset that I think you need to adopt when exercising. And like being a coach is not easy. It's not just telling you what to do and counting your reps and telling you the sets. There's a level of thought that goes into the process of coaching, and there's a level of communication that goes into coaching that is practiced over and over and over. And as a young coach, I made all the mistakes that I'm going to talk about, but I learned from them because purely it just takes experience of being in the trenches and doing this for a long time that you need to have in order to really make people safe and get them to their goals, okay? So the first thing I just want to talk about is when you come into a fitness setting, you have to understand where you're coming from. Are you coming from a place where you haven't exercised in 2 years, in 5 years, in 3 months? Whatever that is, there's a level of experience that you have that you've either been practicing or haven't been practicing or have never learned. So if you're brand new to exercise coming in here, as a coach, it makes no sense for me to put you through this crazy hard workout because you don't have any experience doing this stuff. If you haven't worked out in years or a really long time, there's a level of deconditioning that you've experienced that we need to work through in a safe manner. And if you train all the time and you're just looking to change things up, then you're probably ready for a little bit harder stuff. But the question from a coaching perspective is that we have no idea where you're coming in from, what your abilities are, what your injury history is, how you've been taught how to do something, if we're trying to break bad habits. So we need to, as coaches, we're trying to figure all those things out. And when you have a class setting, we're literally doing it on the fly in terms of like coaching. Like in a class setting, we don't have an assessment process where I get to meet with somebody one-on-one and talk about their goals, talk about their history, and then teach them how to do certain exercises and maybe do 8 to 16 sessions before letting you go into a class. That would be ideal because that's a perfect way to ramp up, develop rapport, and communicate effectively. But we don't have that luxury in here. So that whole little explanation, that whole big explanation, is just to say that you need to start wherever you are. And if you've never been exercised before, start there. Learn how to squat, learn how to hip hinge, learn how to hold a plank, learn how to do a row, and do that over and over and over and over and get good at that. There's really no reason to go into this crazy, extreme, complicated exercise process if you don't know how to move your body and move it safely, okay? If you come in deconditioned, then understand that, again, there's no sense of throwing you into the fire, because if you're deconditioned, there's gonna take time for your tissues to remodel, for your tissues to change and get back to a certain level of what you might have once been. So again, practice the patterns, but practice them consistently, okay? And just understand that this is where you are, that's where you used to be, and if you just show up all the time, you're gonna get to that point, okay? And then if you are very conditioned and you're coming into classes and you have a pretty good fitness level, just understand that we don't know where you're coming in from, like what level you are. So there has to be some at least time frame that we start to learn you as coaches, and you start to learn how we coach. And Just because you say you know how to do kettlebell swings, or you say you know how to do snatches, or you say you know how to do get-ups, doesn't mean that you know how to do them the right way or the safe way, or maybe you can just do all those things better. And the fact of the matter is like, you can learn something new, so be okay with taking a step back to ultimately take 2 steps forward. So number 1, start where you are and be okay with it. There is so many people out there that are trying to get in shape that are so impatient. And that's where like the 6-week challenges come in, and like burn 30 pounds in 30 days. Like, it's so mind-boggling that this is what we're pushing, but it's normal because this is the way society is. We just scroll through things, and if it doesn't catch your attention, you move on. And there's a good chance that people aren't even going to watch this video to this point because they just don't have the patience to. So start where you are. Number 2 is adopt a growth mindset. If you come into something and you're not very good at it, if you put in the practice and you have the mindset that you can get better at it, you will. You'll get stronger, you'll keep adapting, and you'll keep adjusting, and you'll get better. But if you come in and you just say, I can't do push-ups, or I can't do that exercise, then you never will. You're never going to get better, and you're always going to stay the same, okay? So that's the next component of it, is just adopt a growth mindset. Come here, try to learn, try to get better, and try to improve every single class that you come in. And I try to instill that in all of my classes, and so do all the coaches, because we're just trying to get a little bit better every single time you come in, and be okay with that. Because if you get a little bit better every single day, then over the course of 365 days, you will have gotten better 365 times. That is a staggering amount of time to get in a year with great results in a safe way, okay? The next thing is that it's consistency over intensity. You don't necessarily need to go harder all the time. You just need to be consistent. You just need to do something over and over and over. Don't get bored with progress. Progress is what is yielding fat loss, strength gains, okay? You're gonna squat every time you go to class. You're going to deadlift every time you go to class. You're gonna push something, you're gonna pull something, you're gonna carry things, you're gonna brace. You're just gonna learn how to do them better, more effectively, and with more resistance. That is a better progression to get really great results and stay safe. Because if you get injured, you're going to take multiple steps backward, and you're going to have to restart from wherever that place is, okay? And that's never fun, okay? So be consistent, know when to go hard, know when to back off. If you're super sore, if you haven't slept very well, if you drank the night before, if you didn't, if you've been traveling a bunch, if it was a long weekend, if you're stressed out, these are all factors that you need to take into account to go, should I go really hard today, or should I back off? A lot of people will come in because they ate something bad, or they had a few drinks, and they felt like crap. Then they think, well, that's the time when I need to go hard because I need to work it off. But that is actually wrong, because there's more stress on your body, and you're dealing with more things that are going to pull you back. And you have to listen to your body. If there's more stress on there, then maybe just taking an approach of just moving better is more ideal for you right now, so that you can recover, and then the next day or two you can go a little bit harder, okay? So those are just 3 things that have popped up. I'll write them down. Number 1, start where you are, okay? Number 2, growth mindset. And number 3, consistency over intensity. A lot of the influencers out there that we see and we idolize and we compare ourselves to have been doing this for years. Same thing for years. So don't think that you're going to get the same progress in 30 days and 60 days that somebody's been doing that's been working it for 3 to 5 years or their lifetime. Cool? All right, that's all I have for you. I'm out.